Steve,
Oh, Andy.
nice to meet you, Andy. Yeah.
So you learn about it. And then,
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Some of you may know, but Gary Bush has resigned from Loudon County Solid Waste Disposal Commission, so there are 2 vacant seats that the county will be filling as quickly as we can. So all I have to say, everyone who's on the board is here, so thank you all for being here. We'll start with public comments. Any public comments?
I'd like to, just, I followed up with you, I'd like to just, for everybody to hear the update on what's going on with the mud issue and, the process of that. Also, try to find out about that, the lead shape where the pipe was busted, I haven't heard an update on that.
It's on the agenda.
Yes. And that's about all I got.
Okay, I know we haven't had rain lately, so hopefully it's not been an issue. I know we got a little bit of rain, we had some pictures you sent in, but we have a call July 25th to go over a list of issues we sent Republic back in late May, early June. So we have a call on the 25th to discuss the number of those and how we resolve those once and for all. So we'll have an update in August on how that went.
So, I don't know if you'll let us talk when he does the vulture thing,
Yes,
but,
yeah. Yes.
I guess my main concern is we live right across the street from where they're tearing down all the trees for Tennessee National, like destroying the
That's in the
forest.
city of Loudon.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but I'm
okay.
saying the vultures, or
Mhm.
whatever they are coming, their roost is gone, so
Yeah.
now they're coming straight to our docks and our houses.
Well, you and Justin can have that conversation here in just a minute.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
remind everyone that environment is like going under
I had no idea that was
a
going
big,
on.
huge
know
change.
that.
Like,
Wow.
you should hear the trees getting knocked down,
Oh, no.
it's
Why,
sickening.
that made
But
it so
I know
beautiful.
that's not, do what?
That made it so beautiful there.
But they need more homes.
Well, they're gonna have houses right back up to the landfill.
Yep. Well, I know somebody reached out to you about putting up a 120-foot berm in between Tennessee National and the landfill.
Have not got the formal document yet.
But again, I asked the other day, and I don't think we know an answer, but is that gonna be on their property
I-
or our property?
Have not gotten the request or anything back yet.
When you do, we'll talk.
Straight to you, sir.
I mean, I don't think that's gonna do anything about the bird problem.
Well, no, I think they're just trying to block their view, is what I think they're doing, but if they left trees up, it'd be blocked anyways, but what do I know?
Yeah.
So, Rich, Patricia,
Where'd Rich go?
comments?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. You said that Gary Bush resigned.
Yeah.
Didn't Larry resign too?
That's old news.
How come you're not resigning?
I'm trying,
Trying?
yes.
You're
We're not
violating
ready
the
for him to
TCA,
resign.
Specifically of not being on 2 commissions that are paid. You know that, don't you?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's the law that was passed 2 years ago.
Send it to me, I'm happy to look at it.
All right?
Maybe
You don't have,
We're not.
you don't have a list of customer rates for other than the main benefactors, Loudon, Philadelphia, North City, et cetera. Where's the customer rates for the rest of the people?
I'm happy to send it to you, I got it back a while ago. I'll send it to you.
Didn't he send it to
And I
you?
understand that you hired another lawyer.
Do I?
You hired another lawyer?
Not yet.
What
We-
for?
An additional.
You've missed a few meetings.
I'm sorry?
You've missed
I know
a
I
few
missed
meetings.
2 meetings.
Potential litigation. This would be a co-counsel if we engage in litigation.
And you're gonna take Republic on in the lawsuit.
That's what we've discussed, yes.
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
Well, I love your optimism.
Thank you.
Adam, you're gonna lose. There's no way in hell you can beat them.
So we're supposed to roll over and let them do what they want to? Anyways,
Richard, no, stop.
okay.
All right, where's the engineering report that's listed on this agenda?
I'm assuming it's in the packet. It's in the packet.
It's not in the package.
It's not in our packet.
There's nothing in the package on
It's not in my package.
It's right here. It's the new monthly engineering report that we get from Republic from Stoddard right there. I don't know the page number, but it's right after the origin report.
That's not the AER report.
That's not.
Did I say it was the annual engineering report? No.
I think that's what he asked for.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's not what's on the agenda. We get a monthly engineering report from the Republic engineer in the packet each month now.
This isn't anything like I've ever seen before.
It isn't, it is not the AER report.
You're right. It's a new courtesy, it's a new communication tool from Republic to let us know what's going on.
And that was in another previous packet.
Yeah, and that started last month, and it's a great tool for us to know what's going on. Just to know it's a great,
And the other thing
Communication
is
tool.
the 25, 26 ponds, where are they?
I got an email yesterday.
I'm sorry?
I got the email yesterday with the updated bond amount, went from like 14 million to 25 million. I got it yesterday.
Is it on file at the office?
I got it yesterday. I've not done anything with it yet.
Can you give it to Eric?
I've not done anything with it yet.
All right. And Monty, you stayed, right? You elected to stay, right?
Was I not? Yeah, but as a,
You didn't, you resigned the North City Merit Board, right?
the Civil Service Board, yes, I did.
And why did you do that?
I stayed here.
Why did you do that?
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Why would I not? I think
Because-
it's a really good commission. I think they do a great job. I enjoy working with them.
All right,
And we enjoy having Monty.
thank you.
I guess I'm last. If you
You're
could-
always last.
That's okay. I like being last. If you could, please use your PA system, because those with soft voices, it's hard to hear. A couple of things, the meeting minutes for May and June are not included in the packet.
Correct.
So hopefully those will be coming up pretty soon. I'm gonna follow up on the AER report. I'm talking about, and I'm sure Mr. Anklin is talking about, the AER report that is required by TDEC to be submitted annually to them, to Nick Lytle. You have the 2024 on your website, but you do not have the 2025. And if they want to submit an additional report, that's fine. But I'm looking for the 2025 annual engineering report that specifically is turned into TDEC.
The state has that.
Who's
But they're supposed to supply you with a copy, and they have supplied copies every year of that report, Mr. Waller.
We have copies. Solid Waste has copies.
Where are they? They weren't in our packet.
It was submitted by June 1st when it had to be submitted.
It was not submitted in our packet, so please
If you would
include
like a
that.
copy, I'm happy to send you a copy.
Post it on the website, you won't have to send me one.
I'm happy to send you a copy.
The other thing is the audit. It's past due, we haven't heard a word about it. What's the status of that?
I emailed him the first of this week to ask. I have not heard back yet.
Okay, that's way past due.
You wanna go down that path, Pat?
What?
When you were chair, how late we were with audits, but we won't go down that path, but go
That was
ahead.
because of Kelly Brewster.
I'm just telling you the
That was
facts apply,
because
so
of Kelly
carry on.
Brewster, and the records will show that.
Okay, move along.
I mentioned the AER report, that is submitted to TDEC.
They have it.
The tipping fees I brought up last month because it was not in compliance with the permit, I mean, not the permit, with the, Second
Contract.
Amendment. And
And what specifically?
you said the
Is it-
tipping fees.
What specifically about it?
Every June, you're supposed to
I
supply a complete
Read
list.
that specifically to to your attorney, and you said she was going to look into it.
About how Kimberly Clark has a lower rate?
No,
No.
you're supposed to, TDEC, not TDEC, Republic is supposed to submit annually. the
I have
tipping-
that. Do you want a copy of it?
Tipping fees
I
and
have it.
other
Do you want a
charges.
copy?
They were not submitted last month, Mr.
I have a
Waller,
copy. Do you want them?
Yes,
Yes, I
Okay.
want one.
Okay.
so do
And
I.
that is in compliance to 10.3, which is in the Second Amendment. The other thing that I'm looking for is the gasification contract, signed contract, that, I know I've asked for it months ago, and still, it's not on the website, and I haven't received it.
So you want the gasification contract from 2011, what's
The
that?
one that you
2000.
voided last month.
I'll send you a
Remember
copy.
that one?
Yeah, we've got, that was in the last packet.
It was in the last packet.
That was, no, it was not in the
Well,
packet.
I have it.
It may have been in your packet, it was not in the public packet. Now, maybe you're getting records that the public isn't receiving, but I think that we should be able to see the records,
I mean, it's void now.
especially
It doesn't
if,
matter.
yes.
Well, I'm happy to provide it, but I'm just a little confused. but-
Well, it's not confused, because it is something that may be litigated, who knows? It may come up later on. We don't know, but I would like to see a signed contract.
Okay, from what I understood from the last meeting, that, you know, you're right, that was in place, and I don't remember the year that it went in place. But it turns out since nothing was done on it, we decided, to just completely void it, because, you know, it's, with the closure, the capping that's coming up,
I understand all of
Okay.
that, I'm just saying that we should be able to get a signed copy if we would like to see one.
Well, just for your record, it's on page 124 out of 214 on the packet on the website.
The signed version?
The original, the only copy I have is page 124 of last month's packet on the website.
Okay, I'll look. The other thing, getting back to the resignation of Mr. Jameson and Ms. Ross choosing to stay on the Solid Waste Commission, I think we're talking about the dual office holders. And at least from what I understood, Mr. Jameson had to decide between being on the Election Commission or the Solid Waste Commission, and he chose to be on the Election Commission. And Ms. Ross had a choice, either to stay on the Lenore City Merit Board or Solid Waste, and she decided on the Solid Waste. And that is my question too, with the dual office holder, since you are a county commissioner and a Solid Waste chairman, why doesn't that apply to you?
First I've heard of this. What's the TCA? And I'll have Buddy.
I'll send it to you.
Please do.
It's
What
on the
is it?
website, it's dual office holders, CTAS, incompatible offices. And if it applies to other office, even appointed.
Was it dual office holders what?
Pardon?
It's called dual office holders what?
Dual office holders, incompatible offices, and it's on the CTAS website. But if it applies to two solid waste commissioners, then the question is, why doesn't it apply to you?
It does.
First I've heard of this.
Okay.
Adam, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
First I've heard of this, Rich. I'll have Bob Bowman look into it tomorrow. There's always been a county commissioner that sits on this commission.
No, not always.
Well, since Kelly Brewster's time.
It did not
So
start until Brian Jenkins and then Kelly Brewster. That's fairly new,
since I've been around. So
maybe so. But anyway, my question is, if it applies to two appointees, then why doesn't it apply to you, to a county commissioner?
I'll ask Bob Bowman tomorrow. First I'm hearing of this. Anyways.
Bonnie, how did you hear of it?
Tony Akins talked to me about it, called me in and asked me about it. So,
How did Larry hear of it,
I
you
don't know.
know?
The election office contacted him.
So it must have been something that's come down the pipe recently.
Well, it was a law that was put in service 2 years ago to become effective this June. And it was intended to stop people from being on multiple paid positions within a county government. If you remember, what was the previous county road commissioner's name, Pat?
Eddie Simpson.
Huh?
Eddie Simpson?
No. He's a Lower City council person.
That's Eddie Simpson.
Yes,
Eddie Simpson.
That's Eddie Simpson,
He
yeah.
was on 3 different ones. And that's why they brought this up. They didn't want people getting into the pot 3 different ways, 4 different ways, whatever number, because they all carry retirements. So they wrote it up to say that you can choose one and add cycle when yours is was reelected back in March, if I'm not mistaken. When that cycle comes up, you have to decide where you're gonna stay, whether it's county commission or this.
I'll have Bob Bowman look at it tomorrow.
Right?
Any other public comments? Okay, we have Justin Handy from USDA Wildlife here to discuss vultures at the landfill and neighboring properties. The floor is yours, Justin.
All right. Like you said, my name is Justin Hanby. I'm with the United States Department of Agriculture and Wildlife Services. Just to give you a little background on what my agency does, because I got a feeling that most of you all have never heard of us before at all. But Wildlife Services is underneath the umbrella of the United States Department of Agriculture. So you got the umbrella of USDA, and then we're at the bottom of the totem pole. I'll put it that way. So we always scratch the bottom of the floor on a lot of things. But what Wildlife Service does is provide wildlife damage management. So we offer that to anybody, any agency that there is. It doesn't matter if you're a local government, it doesn't matter if you're a federal agency, it doesn't matter, we do states, we do cities, counties, whatever. The special thing about Wildlife Services is that we are, I wouldn't even say a fraction of federally funded. We got certain programs within our agency that are federally funded with federal dollars. Besides that, excluding that, everything else is under what is called a cooperative service agreement. So that cooperative service agreement, or CSA, is what the abbreviation that we all the time use. That is how our agency is funded, by cooperators paying us to come and provide the services that we provide. So that, in a nutshell, that's what Wildlife Services is. That's the kind of services that we do provide. Now, the services that we do provide, as far as the components are concerned, we can have a big broad scale of, I want to say, tools that are in our toolbox that we use, but they also can shrink. But how I approach cooperators most of the time is, the more you shrink my toolbox, the harder and less likely it is going to be that I can manage whatever species of wildlife that I am trying to, either depopulate, shrink, whatever, makes it harder. So with that being said, just keep in mind, as I'm going through the black vulture stuff with you all, that the more you tie my hands behind my back and limit my ability to do the job that is at hand, the harder it's going to be, and probably the more expensive it's going to be. So do keep that in mind. With that being said, the landfill. So
And neighboring properties.
yes, and neighboring properties. Me and my boss went out Tuesday morning, a couple days ago, and we looked at the landfill, and we also drove around the nearby, yes. We drove around that area. We did see, there was a lot of birds at the landfill. We seen, I think, one or a couple on tops of roofs of a house, at the time we was there. The timing of black vulture presence depends on kind of the time of day. This time of year, it's early morning, late in the evening. Midday, as you guys can tell, it is pretty stinking hot outside. So vultures, even though they like warm weather, they tend to find shade somewhere. So you might not see them during midday whenever the temperatures are probably the highest. And sometimes nighttime, if you can find their roost, where they're roosting out of a night, then that is a big game changer.
So you're gonna sleep at the landfill for us?
I am not sleeping at the landfill.
We live there.
No.
All the time.
No, I will not be setting up shop and living at the landfill, I can tell you that right now. But me and my boss, we did see a lot of vultures at the landfill. They were actually, at the time we was there, I'm wanting to think it was like 8:30 that morning. They were actually split up into two different groups, the birds that were actually on site. On the back end of the property, TVA has a transmission line that cuts across the back end of the property. A lot of the birds were on the transmission towers, which that is normal. Because for one, that's where I deal with them 100% of the time, because I deal with black vultures for TVA. And they love TVA's transmission towers. For some odd reason, they like to perch on them. They can get up really high, and the higher they get, I mean, there's probably a bunch of positives of why they get up as high as they can, but they love those towers, especially whenever they're trying to sun. They do like to sun in the morning times. Morning times, early morning, like right at daylight, they don't like to fly because they have to warm up. So if you see vultures, how they spread their wings out, they look like a bat or whatever, just sitting there doing this. They're warming up their insides and their wings so they can fly better. They hate cold weather. That's why they migrate. Black vultures, historically, they are not how can I say it? They are not native to the United States. They are a South American bird. And over the years, you can call it with however you want. I know a lot of people have different opinions about it, but they've pretty much migrated north. 15, 20 years ago, you never heard of a black vulture in the state of Michigan. Now they are all over the place. So they have migrated within the last 20, 25 years far north. Used to, you'd only see them in Louisiana, Alabama, all the southern states. That's about as far up as they would come. Now they're right here in our backyard, and we're dealing with damage. Damages that they can cause, they can tear a vehicle all to pieces. If any of you all have boats and use the boat ramps here around the county, I'm sure you have come into contact with them at some point. They love boats. They will tear them all to pieces, people's vehicles. They pretty much eat the rubber seals out of your vehicle and boats, just anything that has rubber on it. They will chew them out and spit them back up on your car. And then your glass will fall out. And then I know one boat ramp over in Lenore City next to Fort Loudon Dam, there's been a ton of people that it's costing them 30, 40 grand worth of damage to their vehicles because of the damage that they cause. I'm not saying that you guys are having that issue at the landfill as far as equipment wise. From just kind of listening to the lingo going on earlier, it sounds like the county and Republic are two separate entities. And
They manage the landfill
Oh,
for us. They
okay.
operate the landfill for us,
okay,
yes.
okay.
We own it, they operate it.
Gotcha. So I don't know as far as equipment wise if they're destroying your all's equipment or anything like that. But if they are, I mean, this right here could, I don't wanna say permanently solve the issue because I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's a landfill. And there's always gonna be garbage there. Vultures love it. You go to any landfill in the United States and you're gonna find some type of species of vulture, give or take. Black vultures, I always describe them as a pack of wolves. You may start off by seeing one loner and then all of a sudden you end up with 300. They're an aggressive bird. Traditionally, like a lot of you all growing up, you always seen the vulture that had the bald head, little red head. Everybody called them turkey buzzards or something like that. That was the common term. They're actually called turkey vultures. That one is a common species in the United States. That one, they do not congregate together. They do not get up in big, like swarms, big population like the black vultures do. And turkey vultures do not cause like property damage. Black vultures does. And, you know, I could go into detail of all the damage that black vultures do. Cattle farmers, they hate them. They kill their cattle. I mean, they'll actually jump on the cattle and kill the cattle. Especially if there's a mother that's giving birth, they'll kill her and the calf. Of course, you know, there's another agency that helps the farmer with that reimbursement of that. But black vultures do cause a lot of damage. Residential housing, as you have found out, they will tear shingles off the roofs. They will chew the caulking, whatever, out around the windows. And I've heard of people's, gust of wind came by and it blew their window completely through because they didn't realize that vultures had been chewing the caulking around the window. I don't know what it is. Matter of fact, I don't think any of us know what attracts them to caulking and rubber sealment and stuff like that causes them to want to eat it because they actually ingest it and they throw it back up. I know that's nasty, but that's part of their digestive process. That's how they digest their food, and they do that to that sealment. Of course, they're not going to digest it, but so they do cause that, and plus probably vehicles, all that other stuff. People that's got swimming pools, I've heard of them tearing their liners up, all that stuff. So their damage can go from industrial to residential, just like that. And so with that being said, I do have some numbers for you all. I don't know your guys, I know this is a commission board meeting, it sounds like. I didn't know what kind of board meeting I was getting into. But, so I'll give you the numbers and all that stuff, and you guys can do however you want. Adam can get back with me and.
I had a couple of questions. So what you're seeing out there is the black-faced vultures versus the red or the green?
Yes.
'Cause they're-
The turkey vultures are not present out there from what I've seen.
Okay.
I'm wanting to say from what I seen on the tower Tuesday morning, they was probably a little over 100 on the tower.
Wow.
And if not, they was probably about half to 3/4 of that actually like probably not even 50 yards away from where we were standing at. And then they was dozers over here doing their job. And then there's also the trucks coming in and dumping their loads. So, I mean, they were right there. And then they actually flew from me to him in front of us and landed.
They don't know who you are yet, do they?
No. They don't. And that's something else, that these birds are more than capable of doing. I know a lot of people think that wild animals are just dumb animals, but good Lord made them to survive, and that's what they do. And they adapt, and they figure out what it takes for them to survive in the environment that they're in. And these birds are very smart. As far as techniques that could be used to deal with the population at the landfill and adjacent properties, harassment, as far as landfill wise goes, I don't foresee that happening. I can do it, if the county or the board decides to use wildlife services to address the issue. I can provide that service on top of other things that I will do.
But you don't think harassment will work?
Just harassment alone, no.
Okay.
Because there's been too many research projects that Wildlife Services has been a part of with universities around the country. And they've tried them, like car dealerships, they'll use them, blow up stick things that does this all the time and advertise. They've tried using those for disbursement and stuff like that, and I've seen them from me to you, and they're just sitting there and looking at it like this. And then sooner or later, about 25 more come around, and then they'll clip it to where it won't fan no more at the bottom, and then they'll just tear the whole thing down and chew it all to pieces. And then you got a big mess to clean up. So they figure out what hurts them and what does not hurt them. So harassment alone does not work unless you are dealing with a roost or population in an area that is brand new. If you're dealing with a population that is brand new, then most of the time you can do harassment techniques like bottle rockets, firecrackers, just common things like that. Anything that makes loud noises, like I've got a Polaris Ranger on a trailer out here on my truck, and for all week this week at a boat ramp not far from here, they've kind of started congregating around the boat ramp. So every morning I'm out there unloading my Ranger and running these birds. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm running these birds around on a side by side, and they're just going from one side of the boat ramp to the other. And finally they get tired of it, and then they fly off to an area where I can actually go and deal with them. So because there's too many people around boat ramps all the time, especially this time of year, and I can't deal with them accordingly, how I need to. So I use that technique to get them out of the area, and then I use lethal techniques to deal with them. Since I brought up that, that's about the only technique that these birds respond to. And I know a lot of people, whether it's the public's eye point of view or whoever's eye point of view, if you go online and you look up wildlife services, especially YouTube, you will find people that absolutely hate our guts. And it's for the simple fact that they think that we just go out here and we just shoot everything and just kill all these animals for no reason at all. And that is simply not the truth at all. If they would look just a little bit deeper into the facts, they would realize that the places that we do this at, there's people's lives are at stake, like airports. Like, we literally do the wildlife management on our airports. McGee Tyson, if any of you all ever fly on McGee Tyson, you will see a USDA truck out there running the airfield, making sure that a 747 doesn't come in and take out a turkey or a deer or a bird or whatever. So we're out there keeping them safe. And whether it is on public land or whatever, or in this case the landfill, these birds are maybe coming from the landfill going over to your house, causing damage there. If you got a pet at home, forget that it's outside. I mean, I'm not kidding you. These birds will come down and swoop it up and take it off, and it's gone.
I have a great day.
Well,
Now, I'd like to watch that. That'd be fun to watch.
they might not pack off a Great Dane right away, but we might put up a fight. But yeah, I mean,
So if we hire you to help with the vulture problem at the landfill, will that reduce the impact on the personal property next door?
well, I was pondering on this for the last couple of days, and from what I've seen, and of course, this can change from day to day, because you never know what these birds are going to do. I mean, they blow my mind. Every time I think, I got you. I figured you out, they do something just off the wall, mind blowing, and I'm like, that looks why are you doing that? That's so stupid. But they're doing it for a reason. I just don't know why. But they're doing it to throw me off, I think, because like I said, Adam mentioned it, they don't know me yet. But they will recognize my truck. Like, I have worked at places before, they see that white Chevrolet out there with the lights on it, and they see it, and before I can get out of my truck, they're gone. And I have literally left that site, went like maybe 3/4 of a mile down the road, got out of my truck, walked back to the site, and then birds have showed off back up already.
So we need to park a USDA truck on that road, what we need to do.
I mean, without removing their food source.
Yeah, and
Good luck with that one.
yeah, and that's the main thing. The landfill. I mean, I don't want to say that it's 100% their food source, because I wasn't gonna get into this, but I'll just go ahead and tell you. There is, we've had a theory for some time now, especially in this area. So we finally got, some resources, from a university to do some research. And so, we partnered with, TVA and actually it's Mississippi State. And we done a project through them. And we trapped a bunch of these black vultures in the area, in the, I guess you could say, from Chattanooga area all the way to Knoxville. So that general area right there, that block of land. And we trapped them and we tagged them. We done GPS trackers and also wing tags. So if you guys see a black vulture flying around here with an orange cattle tag in its wings, that's it. And if you can get the number off of it, you can report it that you've seen that bird. But anyway, so we did that, and we wanted to do that in that partnership because we was kind of scratching our heads of what these birds are actually doing. And so with that, we tagged a bunch of birds down, what was that, Ray County, Meigs County, and we trapped some in Anderson County. And we done those two spots, and over the last, I want to say 2 months now, there's a bird flying around here. Not running, but flying. It's going back and forth between Fort Loudon Dam and Watts Bar Nuclear. It's flying the river system, and neither one of those locations is where that bird was tagged at. That bird was tagged in Anderson County at another TVA site. It's Bull Run is where we tagged it at. So it's flying the river system and it's going back and forth. So my theory and a couple of the other people in my circle theory was these birds in this area, they're flying from pretty much facility to facility. Well, since this landfill issue has cropped up, I was standing up there on top of the mound at the landfill Tuesday morning, and just by looking at the surroundings, I do believe that the landfill, you could say, I think it's a pit stop. I think it's a pit stop between Fort Loudon and Watts Bar. Now, do I have 100% facts on that? Absolutely not. But that's my theory. I think that, and it could be the food source. They're going from here, stopping here for a while, and going, and vice versa. I mean, it's constant. Because that tagged bird that I seen, and then a coworker of mine seen that just south of here, that happened over the course of 2 days. I seen it one day, and then the next day it was at Watts Bar. I seen it up here. And so that's probably not fascinating to you all, but I mean, it fascinates me that, you know, they're doing that. So I think that the landfill is a pit stop for them, now that I have laid eyes on it. The only thing I can come up with is there's food there that they like. Now what that is, I have no idea.
Trash.
But yeah, it's trash. Because if you guys go to the boat ramps and see the trash cans, if they're overflowing at all and the lids are popped up on them birds will hop up on there and knock the lid completely off of it and scatter trash everywhere because somebody threw something in there that they're wanting. But most of the birds around here, they love to fish because there's boat ramps from here all the way to Chattanooga, and you get these bass fishermen or bass tournaments or whatever, just your everyday weekend warrior fishermen. They go out on the lakes, they fish, they say, ooh, that's a good one, I'm gonna put it in a live well, keep it, take it home, might fry it up, I don't know yet. And by the time they get back to the boat ramp, they didn't do their live well right, the fish is dead, so they just pitch it out in the water at the dock. Well, instead of throwing it out in the deep water and letting nature take its course, they throw it out right there at the bank, and then the waves come in, wash it up on the riffraff, and guess who's gonna eat a good meal the next morning? The fish are what's bringing the black vultures in at the boat ramps. And so in turn, whenever there's nothing there, and then I do my deed and with them and harass them, lethal control, whatever, and then they fly wherever they go, they end up at the landfill. I think that's what's happened, because there is no control for them at the landfill. So
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
I ask you a question?
yeah, go ahead.
So if there are some coming in the landfill and we decide to control them,
He said lethal.
lethal, okay, yeah, lethally, are they smart enough to realize if we go there, we could be killed? I mean, are they, you keep talking about how
Well-
they're smart, are they that smart?
Yes, they can be that smart. I'm not gonna lie
Like, is
to
it
you.
sustainable?
But with that being said, I have my tricks. I'll say that. I have my tricks. Like I was saying earlier, like if they're roosting there, if they're roosting at the landfill, like let's say they're roosting on that TVA transmission tower. Well, I've already have permission to address them on TVA property structures. So I could go, if I don't know if that tower's on your guys' property or not,
It is, isn't it?
I
but,
think it's a mushroom plant, isn't it?
The transmission lines?
well, if it ain't, then I can get permission. That's no problem. And like the permission, as far as the permission goes, like if you all agree to bring us on to deal with the issue, they will be a permission form involved with the agreement packet. So basically, all the permission form does is grant us permission to be on your guys' property with our equipment to, handle the issue. Now, that being said, that handles the county. Residential, since they are providing the funding for this, the adjacent landowners to the landfill, I can come to you and say, ma'am, would you want to sign this permission form for me to come on your property to potentially, I've been trying to be professional about this, but shoot the birds, or harass them off your roof or whatever, and it just has your basic information on there, name, address, all that good stuff. And what is going to be provided on your property, as far as the, components, all that stuff. And then you say, yes, Justin, I'll sign it, and then you just sign your name, that's that.
That's good, because I was wondering how we were gonna be able to,
Yeah,
our contracts with you on our land,
yes.
what you do with them is between you guys.
Yes.
Good.
So since we're already there, you guys are providing the ultimate funding for it, then you kind of get a free.
Get her done.
Get her done.
So let me ask you this, we had talked about a 6-month trial run to see what happens, so
Okay.
what's that gonna set us back here? We're,
All right, I got some numbers, I gotta look
They're
at my
like
phone.
car dealers.
we're a government entity at a discount, right?
Might be cheaper to buy the truck.
Okay, so, like I mentioned this to Adam earlier, but basically, we're gonna start out small with this, and do a 6-month, agreement proposal. In that 6 month, the agreement, the funding that needs to be provided is $25,000. And that runs over a course of 6 months. From the time that, the agreement is signed, it starts right there, and then there'll be an end date in that agreement packet of when the agreement will be, done. Yes.
So is that, are we in the season where they would be, if we signed right away, would we catch most of the season where they're a problem, or would it start going into a colder climate when they
Well,
might not be?
that's a big iffy. Because sometimes it depends on how harsh the winters are. Which I know in Loudon County, you guys don't see the snow that I do. I live in Morgan County, so I live north of you all. So we get a lot more snow than what you all get. Now the wind is a different story. It gets windy down here and cold. But, as far as that goes, but like at Fort Loudon Dam where I deal with these birds a lot, I mean, I'm dealing with them year round.
Okay.
Not necessarily at the boat docks or the boat ramps, but I deal with them on transmission towers, and at the dam itself. So, and then sometimes, like over the past couple of winters, we've had like record-breaking low temperatures, like down in the single digits and even in the negatives. Those days, the birds figure like they got it figured out or whatever, and they get the heck out of Dodge before that system comes through. And so they may go south and stay for a week, but a week later, they're right back. So, so it all depends. I feel like that I've got enough ground to stand on that if you guys was to sign right now, I have plenty of time to address the issue. And like the first part of it, let's see, 3 weeks. So there were gonna be 3 weeks. So that's Monday through Friday. So that's 15 days. So there's gonna be 3 weeks for 15 days of straight intensive direct control. So that's gonna be right off the bat. So I'm going to go in, whether it's actually on the landfill or residential, I'm going to go in there and, you know, it's gonna be lethal control.
How do you, like, what is it, the method?
Lethal control?
Is it shooting them?
Yes, it's a .22 rifle.
I'm just making sure it wasn't like.
Now, so,
poison.
I have
Yeah.
two
Oh, yeah,
questions.
because
I
I
have
thought,
two questions.
what
The
about
first one's the easy one.
residential?
I was like, are
So-
you-
These birds roost in area A. Is there an idea of how far they typically travel during the day? They're hanging out at the landfill all day.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a typical distance you kind of look at to see where they're roosting at? They roost a mile away, 50 miles away?
I guess it all depends. Sometimes these birds have multiple roost sites. So they may roost here one night and then say, hey guys, let's go down here at the dam and we'll roost down here at the dam tonight. You know, like I'm 100% sure because I'm going to go there after I get done with this meeting. I'm pretty sure that they're roosting some of the birds. I don't know if it's the same birds. It's probably a different group, but they kind of interact all at some point or another, I do believe. But I think that they're roosting up there. And so I'm going to go there. So, like, let's say that,
Well, it may be locked,
what's that?
the landfill.
I'm not going to the landfill. I'm to look at them here in a little while.
Okay.
That's,
They also roost, well, I don't know if they roost, but those little islands
on the river.
on the river, they'll go back and forth from the landfill to the.
Well, I can cover that too. So that's
You
already.
can sit on my dock.
Well, I mean, I can do that. You sign my permission form and I'll do it. Don't bother me at all.
Second question.
Yes.
So you're at her house. You're out at her dock.
Uh-huh.
You accidentally put a bullet through the motor on her chaparral.
Uh-huh.
Who's liable?
Probably be Wildlife Services.
So we wouldn't be liable for that. Okay.
No. We are, of course, I mean, I know we're a federal agency, we are insured, all that stuff. Like, there's been cases before, I'll give you a small example. I heard a story one time of a guy that works with us. He was out working and, he pulled off on the side of the road to go to a site. And he's out in a rural area, so there was no traffic or anything like that. Well, whenever he went to leave, he didn't realize that he had parked right next to a mailbox. And whenever he pulled out, he knocked the mailbox, post, everything out of the ground. Okay, so what they did is they went to Home Depot, bought a new post, bought a new mailbox, and redone them. And so that landowner got a new mailbox, because he destroyed it, because he ran over it, smashed it to pieces and everything. So, if something like that was to happen, and if something does, like, I need to go back to firearms training, if that happens.
Well, yeah, I was just trying to think worst
But,
case
cause
scenario.
that right there is terrible
Yeah.
on my part. And that's something else. I know there's a lot of people nowadays that get all up in, whams about firearms and stuff like that. We are trained annually, and we deal with firearms on a regular basis in very high, I guess you could say, traffic areas, whether that's boat ramps, industrial facilities, you name it, we do it. And we are very well trained on our whereabouts, you know, what to look for, where and when not to shoot, all that stuff. I mean, we go through aggressive training, so we know what to do and what not to do, especially if there's a boat sitting right there in front of me. And now, is there accidents? Absolutely, everybody has accidents. I'm not gonna say that, you know, I haven't never had an accident. I have. I had one malfunction on me one day, and, you know, it could have been bad. But, you know, but as far as that aspect of things, that should not be a concern, at all.
We're not allowed to shoot them, right?
No. Black vultures, unfortunately, are a federally protected bird.
That was gonna be my
no.
next question, is there a quantity, can you kill 500 of them out there? Or are you limited to a number?
Wildlife Services, the Tennessee-Kentucky program, which both states are one, they're both ran out of Nashville. So they're one program. We do have a depredation permit through U.S. Fish and Wildlife. So we do have a permit to legally take black vultures. And it's not only black vultures that we deal with. I mean, we got a list of birds, species that we deal with come across the board, across 2 different states. So that list is very long, as far as, bird species are concerned. So yes, we are covered on that. I can't remember exactly the exact number that we're allowed each year, but it's up in the thousands. So we'll be covered.
Each year for the state or for the area or for the county?
For the whole program combined, like that permit covers, like, our state program covers the whole state of Tennessee and the whole state of Kentucky. So that depredation permit covers both states. So let's just say off the top of my head, let's say that permit allows for 2,500 birds to be lethally removed each year. So that 2,500 is spread out over across both states, and so you cannot go over the same. So, and I don't think we've ever, I can't remember, I think I've actually got the permit, a paper copy of it in my truck. Cause we have to keep that on us all the time, just in case TWRA or a U.S. Fish and Wildlife agent, you know, pops up and says, hey, let me see your permit, you know, or whatever, you know, I can show him, even though they know what we do. You know, they may still want us to provide it at some point. So yeah, so that, all the legal aspect of that is fully covered. So you guys don't have to worry about that. I mean, by all means, I mean, if the Loudon County wanted to, I mean, you guys could go and file to get a depredation permit and hire somebody else to do it.
So we're Loudon County Solid Waste Disposal Commission, and we're not gonna take that on ourselves, so, anyways, Ms.
Well,
Ross?
Talking about the island, I think I know where you live, the area, but that nickname of that island is Bird Island.
I've
We've
heard
called
of
it
that
Bird
island.
Island for a long time.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that island. I don't think I've ever been out on it, but I've heard
It's
of it.
small, but it's covered in birds.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, TVA has done a lot of bird stuff on that island, as far as, like habitat management and stuff like that, I do believe. So, I do have access to that island, so if they are roosting out there, which if they are roosting there, then eventually they're gonna kill every vegetation on that.
They have.
Oh,
It's
they
been
have?
dead for years.
Okay, well, it's not, well, I'll say this, it's not just the black vultures that kill the vegetation on all these islands on the Tennessee River. It's the cormorants mainly, because they roost in them and have their nests and everything, and all their feces kills everything, cause there's so much ammonia in it. And black vultures are the same way, so if, let's say at your house, you notice trees dying, and you notice just white stuff everywhere. Well, that's bird poop for one. And they're actually killing that tree. And most of the time, bird roosts are gonna look like that. So, you know, if you find that, then most likely you're looking at some type of bird roost. Now, whether that's black vultures, starlings, whatever, you know,
can see them.
yeah,
Okay, Rich had one question,
okay,
then I think we're good.
okay.
In your experience, is there anything that gets buried into a landfill that is a prominent attractant to them? And could it be remediated? Like, for instance, we bury cows there every month after month.
Mhm.
And we paper cover them typically, and once a week we dirt cover them.
Mhm.
Would that be a major attraction to them, or is it just another?
I mean, if you all are covering up the carcasses, I don't foresee that being an issue. Now, I think in general, just by being out there, of course, I've only been out there one time, and just by knowing of what other coworkers in other states have dealt with landfills, I really don't think it matters. It's a landfill, it's a dump. So,
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that there is one single attractant that you could remove to, you know, solve the issue. Because, I mean, there's always gonna be birds there because it's a dump. But, I mean, if the cattle carcasses was not being covered up, then yes, I would say you guys need to adjust your techniques and start covering those
We're
up.
supposed to be covering every night with the ADC from Kimberly-Clark, which is a paper byproduct,
Mhm.
every night. And they also cover with dirt every Saturday
Okay.
afternoon once the landfill closes.
You know, if you guys do make the decision to bring us on and do that,
We're about to.
I think there's one more question.
okay, go ahead.
Justin, from what you know about the population dynamics of this bird, and are we looking at a fairly localized population? So if you eradicate all the birds, problem solved, or is it just opening up habitat for the next wave of black vultures to come in?
Well,
Are you gonna be with us a long time or just for 6 months?
I mean, the 6-month thing, I mean, that's totally up to you all as a board. I mean, and it's like I told you on the phone, I mean, we provide this service for 6 months, and at the end of them 6 months, I come by and I say, all right, guys, what would you like to do? They're like, well, we like the progress that you've made, let's sign, you know, another 6 months, or whatever, you know, whatever you guys want to do. You know, we'll be here as long as you want us here. Yes.
What's the population at the end of the 6 months? What are you looking at?
Well,
He'll tell us in 6 months.
There's a reduction by 50%
Like what's
or
the goal?
75% or,
I mean, it all depends on how actually big the population is. Now, that right now, I cannot tell you. Because, I mean, as, you know, as what it looked like Tuesday morning whenever I was there, they was probably, rough estimate, they was probably over 200 birds there. And that's
Can
not,
you take out that many in one day? How good a shot are you?
well, it depends on how long they stay still. I
they
mean,
stay still.
I'd probably have to go buy some more bullets, because I don't think I got enough bullets in my truck right now.
I will
to
say
take-
it's grown,
Yeah, well,
so, like,
and-
it's gradually, since I've lived out here, it's.
Okay, so think Monty here.
yeah, okay, I have a motion, that we, get a contract and have authorized Adam, after the contract is reviewed by our attorney, Elizabeth Murphy, that we authorize him to sign that after the review. Was that
Yep.
Is that sufficient?
That works.
Let me ask one question real quick.
Let's get a,
Second.
let's get a
Get a
second
second.
before
Okay,
we
okay,
talk
okay.
more. Is there a second for that?
I'll second
Okay,
that.
thank you.
So you said that you would actively, what was it, 15 days of direct contact
And intense.
and intense.
More or less, that's gonna be, I'm gonna be there every day.
You're gonna be on site.
I'm gonna be on site every day, and as long as the birds are there, I'm gonna be there.
Bird population's 500, you've already gotten rid of 10 of them after 15 days.
10?
Well, just-
Oh, surely it's a better job than that.
We got problems.
So what happens for the remaining of the 6 months, which is what, 5 months and 5 days? What happens during that period?
Okay, so if I, like you said, 500 birds, let's say I reduce that by half.
Okay.
Or if I say, I reduced it by half and then all of a sudden the bird population that is at that area, including the landfill and residential, the birds are gone. And they're gone, I don't know, however long it is, then it would turn into monitoring. I know I didn't get to go before you made the final motion or whatever. But basically, if there comes a time within the agreement that the population is at a steady, management number, and they're not causing issues for you all or the landfill and everything in between, then I'll turn it into a monitoring standpoint. So basically, and I think pretty much that's how this is laid out. So I didn't get to go through all of it, but after the 3 weeks of direct control, the intensity of it, then the remainder of the 21, there will be 21 weeks of an average of 2 site visits per week. So that's about 6 hours a day. And after all that adds up to like 60 site visits over 6 months. And that also is estimating around 375 hours on site. So I feel like with that, let's see, when is the 6 months up?
Let's just say August 1st, that'll be August, September, October, November, December, January, so end of January. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they'll migrate before
Yeah,
that,
well, and
November-ish.
that's the other issue too.
They will be gone.
You have your traditional migrant birds, just like with geese. Like you have birds that migrate, back and forth, north to south, or, whatever. You also have residential birds that stay here year round. Those birds are usually the birds that cause the most damage and is the most annoying.
So you wanna get those.
Yes. Those right there are definitely
Sounded terrible.
at the top of the hit list, as you could say. And I feel like mostly, like I'll give you an example. Whenever I first transferred back here, and because I originally started in northwestern Kentucky doing this job, and whenever I transferred back to East Tennessee and started working here, and I started at Fort Loudon, the black vulture population there, I want to say, on average, it was probably over 2,000 birds.
Huh?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
Vultures?
yes. If not more.
Jeez.
He's the Ohio River area up there.
So I started doing all types of things. I harassed them off the dam, but I also, whenever I got them in an area where I could legally shoot them, I shot them, and I ran an actual trap. So I actually trapped them in a big old trap. The trap was probably about as wide as your all's desk, podium desk right there. It was huge, and I want to say within maybe a couple months, if not a half a year, I had legally taken, with the trapping and with the lethal shooting, I had removed over 1,000 birds from
Wow.
Fort Loudon. And they I mean, it just cut off. Like, I didn't have no issues there no more. And so I drawed back and I let it go, and I didn't do nothing there. I wanna say probably for about maybe over a year, and then all of a sudden, boom, they showed back up, yes.
So what do you do with the carcasses? You're not gonna take them to our landfill, are you? What do you do?
Can
Do
we-
you
can we bury
incinerate
them in our
them or?
I mean, yeah, I
They'll go
mean,
to landfill,
We
Yeah.
bury them, yeah.
if they
That's the
wanted,
place to take it. Yeah.
Just can you incinerate them? That would be really good.
Maybe a sign
Do
for
you
the
have an
rest of
incinerator?
it.
I know, I know.
well, I mean, if they don't care, I mean, if you all want to dig a hole and say, Justin, whenever you get ready, just throw them over here and we'll cover them
They're
up.
gonna be great partners and dig a hole for you.
Yeah,
What about the heifers?
There you go.
yeah, I mean, that's fine, I mean, and everything, and of course, I can coordinate with you all on that, I mean, that's no problem.
Well, so we have a motion and a second.
Yeah.
Any other questions from up here?
No.
Okay, let's have a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I want you to email me. I'm gonna connect you with Bonnie.
Okay.
Your job, Bonnie, is to talk to your neighbors and see who wants to have USDA on their property. Can you handle that?
I can handle that.
Okay. I'm gonna connect you with Teresa Fox and David Hollenshed, so you can coordinate your schedule and what you need from Republic in terms of going out there.
Okay.
Anything else, David? Bonnie, anything else?
I have one question.
Well, we're done with questions.
Do you ever go after hours in the evenings, cause they close at 4:30, you know how some of them, they like to come in the evenings? So will you have be able to have a key to get in after hours?
If he
You know,
needs
may
it,
come-
I'll let them work that out with Republic.
Okay, I was just curious, cause they do like
Well,
that.
that's a
Yeah,
good point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just go up, be up front with you, I will need access, I guess you could say 24/7. Because I will have to come in there right at dusky dark sometimes, because there will be a point to where I can't do it, like, as soon as they see me in the morning, they're gone, and I may be able to get one of them. And so I'll have to rotate my schedule and do it at night.
Andy may wanna go with you, so when we email, I'll connect you with Andy, and y'all can discuss a chaperone. So, okay, we're good. Send me that contract,
This is great.
I'll connect you with Bonnie and with David, and then can we get a report, and so if we just sign, we'll probably sign a little bit before August 1st, but end of
Wow.
October, maybe a halfway
Or
check-in?
even the 3
Yeah.
weeks. I mean, that first 3 weeks of the,
Well, then maybe come back after the first 3 weeks, I don't know,
August.
let's
August.
talk after the contract's signed,
sure.
we'll have you come back maybe in September, mid-September, and give us a little update.
Yeah, that's
So-
fine, yeah, I can come
I just know
back.
you live a long ways away, and I wanna be respectful.
Well, I mean, I'm down in this area, I'm down in Loudon County just about every day, so
Thank you.
it's no big deal.
Okay,
This is
Um,
great.
yeah.
This is great. Thank you
okay,
very much.
thank you, Justin,
All right, you guys are welcome, hope you have a good rest of the evening.
we're gonna get through
Appreciate
this a
it.
lot quicker, hopefully, the rest of this stuff. Bonnie, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Stoddard, where are we on the cell A leachate disconnect update?
I'm still waiting on the minor mod to get approved,
Okay,
so I can't do anything in that geologic buffer
so
until.
you can't go through that pipe and slip
Oh,
through
yeah,
that
the
pipe?
slip lining, so
Yeah.
we're gonna go and get the whole cell built out, we're 4 weeks out, that's the, on when they can get that plug that's gonna basically go all the way to module A.
Yep.
When I talked to them earlier this week, they said they were expecting 4 weeks on it.
Like, I saw your email back to Lou asking if what I was gonna sign was gonna satisfy what they needed.
Did you hear back?
No, I mean, you were copied on that.
Yeah, I wasn't
You-
sure if there was.
I haven't heard
sidebars.
anything back yet, so I'll call Lou tomorrow, cause I want that signed. I want
Yeah,
to sign if that's the right thing to sign.
Well, and in that certification, it says manager or owner could sign it, which is confusing as to why Lindsay Turtle, the general manager for the operating of the site, wasn't able to get
Well,
that.
I'll check with Lou to make sure what you sent is the right thing for me to sign.
So that's the modification.
That's the slip lining where there's the disconnect and they're putting in that 24-inch stainless perforated pipe.
Sorry, just to make sure it's not convoluted. We need to be able to take the temporary lines out of the geologic buffer and divert leachate to the constructed module 1. That module 1 has been constructed per the minor mod, just because we had to get it constructed, and we don't have full approval on certifying that module per the minor mod yet. Once the minor mod's approved, we can get it certified right then and there and go. But it sounded like they were waiting for the permit holder and the owner to sign the authorization for the minor mod, which was news up until this, that just hit us this week, so.
Okay. Storage tank update. I know we had that.
I think I saw the report in here that we got from the manufacturer.
Okay.
Surprisingly dodged, nothing short of a minor miracle here. Nothing, no major damage to the tank itself. They recommended some routine maintenance as far as seals on the top of it go, but really it just needs to be re-anchored to the concrete foundation.
And when will that be done?
I'm supposed to be getting pricing back. I was told a week or so from the time I told you that, so.
Okay, perfect.
Well, when the concrete foundation was really damaged, or does that?
No, it's
that-
just the anchor bolts were sheared, so they just have to be re-drilled and it has to be remounted.
Oh.
But it settled back in almost within an
That
inch
was
of
a
it.
concrete curb, I think, that had lots of cracks in it or something. There was one thing about the concrete, I thought it was a concrete curb.
It ages. I mean, it's all this stuff has typical age to it. And you put 100,000 gallons in a 30-foot structure, it's gonna carry some weight and have some sort of fracturing. But as far as the pad itself goes,
It's healthy.
they deemed it's fine.
Where are we with the Boro plan for the new bar pit area?
So we're ready to go. I sent you the test pit locations along with some build outs in the. I saw it in this packet as well.
Okay.
And there was some kind of original borrow plans that stems back to 2022, but the test pit locations, apologies, I should have provided that to you in the last meeting. It was provided to me in April, but we're ready to go. I've already cut POs just as soon as I have your blessing.
Okay. We'll review those and get to you. Stormwater pond updates. I know I saw something from you earlier this week about that.
Yeah, pond 2, we've had plugged for a while, for about 10 weeks now. We have not discharged anything to it. We have not discharged anything from it. We've been aerating it to try to return the chemistry to its compliant state. We actually had an increase in ammonia. I've had Hunt come out and install additional infrastructure so we can drive the aeration to the bottom of the pond to try to accelerate some volatilization of the ammonia.
Will you give him a 1-minute overview of what's happened to our 2 stormwater ponds? This is right up his wheelhouse.
Yeah, so we've had leachate essentially discharged from the hill, one in relation to cell construction activities and the other on the east side, this pond we're talking about now. Leachate entered a perimeter ditch that flows to this pond. It was discovered during an inspection. Actually, while the inspection happened, the site just happened to run over a soft spot. It created a flow to the ditch. Once it hit the ditch, it was presumed it probably happened before. We tested the pond, had slight elevation in COD, BOD. TSS was right at the compliance level. Ammonia was not an issue. We've since plugged the pond. We've since are constantly we just back out the ditch repeatedly so we don't discharge anything from there. No stormwater enters the pond, but conveniently after aerating the pond for so long, all the chemistry returned to our compliance level except for ammonia. So I'm assuming ammonia is trapped in some of the sediment at the base. As we've been aerating, it's kind of been cycling through, releasing some of the dissolved constituents. I'm looking to disturb the base a little bit more to try to accelerate the volatilization. The other pond has since been dewatered. I was talking to the contractor today. They're going to start dredging it out. We're going to get soil samples on it probably tomorrow. And get this sent up to them.
How long will it take for you to get those samples back?
I usually say 10 days. It's 10 to 14 days is usually the lab's turnaround time on that. I can accelerate it, but I also want the contractor to continue remediating and not getting any sort of, I want them to treat it as if it's still impacted.
So does that pond have a number?
That would be, it's the, pond 2 is the one on the east. I think it's pond 3. Pond 1, I believe, is on the north side. The big pond that always kind of looks pristine, almost as if it's very light blue, light green color.
Steve, do you want to take the time to go tour the landfill? I'm sure Monty would love to go with you.
I'll go back. It's really kind of interesting, and it can actually be kind of pretty.
Yeah.
We tried, the north slope has actually been seeded and matted this week.
Oh, good.
That's it.
Good. Now it's been raining, right?
Just what y'all were doing to set up that lower, landfill site, the expanded area.
Yes.
It was very impressive how that was being done.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea sometime.
I'll connect you with David and
Okay.
Monty, and you guys can find a time. I don't know how often Stoddard's over here, but with y'all's background, it may be good to have Stoddard as well, just for the engineering side of things.
We'll make it happen.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
One question we had, I know you're talking about the geosynthetic liner has been approved for Mod 1. What's going to be your process for maintaining the temporary leachate levels?
So we already have a riser and a sump in mod one.
Okay.
So diverting everything to there is almost a more effective route as opposed to send it, because right now all we have is the temporary lines that run it to the lift station.
Right.
And we've constantly been battling the lift station to the point where we actually got a contractor from Athens, Rain for Rent. And we actually brought in a series of diesel pumps to try to accelerate the process so we weren't relying on the lift station.
Okay.
Once we actually have module one certified and the reason it's not certified yet is the minor mod included a calcareous stone aggregate as opposed to your typically washed granite 57 stone. We needed some sort of calcium variants to go with this cell just because locally it's really all we got with limestone in Tennessee. That has its own riser system that will divert leachate to the existing leachate collection system that we have, which is currently routed around the tank that we've been working on.
And how long do you think it'll take for the construction of module 2?
Right now, I got a schedule from the contractor this week that says essentially they'll be done by August 4th if everything goes to plan.
Okay.
And so with the slip lining, I figure we go ahead and get it built out. The contractor would support whatever job is necessary for the slip lining, but we would already have aggregate and geosynthetics laid for module 2.
Okay. Partial closure plan that's being reviewed on our end. The bond we got today or yesterday. Okay, we have an invoice to be paid for Miss Murphy's work. Y'all should have it in your packet.
We do.
Yeah, it's not in there. It's it's on the website I sent you the other day.
Okay.
It's for her work for the first 2 months, or February and March, and then also the refundable retainer for co-counsel.
So we got the TDEC inspection? Not yet.
There's a new inspector for
Yeah, you,
Lou is apparently not, he was rotated out. It's now Paula Plant, who's been in the Knoxville office she's very experienced. She's been around for about 30 years.
so she's replacing Lou?
I think she's been at Loudon before. Yeah, she's been the inspector previously. I know they go through rotations every couple of years or as needed.
Okay,
But
so they rotate through. Okay, that's good to know. So I'll need a motion and a second to pay Elizabeth for February and March, and also the $5,000.
Who's gonna administer that $5,000? Elizabeth? or-
Elizabeth is, yes.
I'm sorry.
Elizabeth will, yes.
I think it's just kind of as needed, doesn't she?
Yes, it's refundable, if not billed, yes. So is there a motion to pay Ms. Murphy?
I'll make a motion to pay Ms. Murphy.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, Ms. Murphy's been paid. Do you want to give us, we have the operations report started, do you want to go through your engineering report? Maybe we come up with a little better name for that, so it's not seen as the same as the,
monthly engineering update, just switch it to that, just to make
the
sure.
Stoddard report maybe?
Yeah. I hope not.
Go through that, those,
I'm trying to keep this organic and kind of link up.
this is great, this is
Yeah,
great.
it is. It's really not. It's good.
So as module one, module two, as I said, the expected completion, is the first week in August. We did have a lot of rain in May and June. The recent dry conditions have been favorable to our efforts and also remediating some of these pond and compliance issues we've had. Minor mod approval is still expected. We're constructing everything based on the minor mod. Obviously, Chairman, would you like me to just kind of, I send an email maybe tomorrow, just say, hey, where do we stand with this, or do you just want to go ahead and?
If you would, yeah, I just had not seen back from Lou, making sure that's what they needed.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, I'll ping him and see what he says.
Perfect, thank you.
Slip line and modulate gravity line, like I said, we have to wait for the minor mod to get approved so we can send the leachate to the constructed module one. We're gonna build module two per the minor mod, and once that's constructed, it should time up to where we can do the slip line in relation to tying in the leachate system with the new site. Capping event, as we discussed previously, 13 acres to 10 acres. My engineers, it was 4th of July, and also just introduced the baby girl to the world, so he was out for about 2 weeks. He's expecting to have designs wrapped up either by tomorrow or Monday at the latest. We have fielded bids with these assumptions. I do have a couple contractors in mind that I've been running through bid cycles and questions with. Pretty much once we're ready to go, once I have your blessing, we'll run with it. I am expecting a end of August, September start. I do want to spend that money this year to get that constructed. East ditch, like I was talking to, just a minute ago, the leachate seeps on the east slope have been controlled. They have been burned up. We have a series of pumps in place now. I have also been working with our electrician. I actually just cut him a PO. He's gonna run 3-phase permanent power to the east slope so we don't have to run generators over there anymore. Yeah, so the current setup is preventing leachate from entering the ditch. Like I said, we're incorporating 3-phase power. We are gonna also do a air compressor for the site as well, so we don't have to rely on electric pumps. We can also utilize pneumatic pumps as needed. Again, just waiting on dry conditions to excavate potentially impacted soils. Pond number 2, no discharge, we're still remediating. It's been aerating for 10 weeks. The recent sampling event showed elevated NH3. All other concentrations of concern are below our compliance levels. We added the extension to the pump to ensure the sediment at the bottom of the pond is disturbed to accelerate volatilization of ammonia. The leachate tanks, I put pluralized there just because we did have our tank inspection in May, southeastern inspection report which was received, which is included in the packet. No major damages other than the anchor bolts. We are awaiting the quote to re-anchor and complete recommended maintenance. We are going to install a new leachate tank in 2026. This is a requirement for the expansion permit, something TDEC has in that 2018 ruling. They don't really hold existing permits to this condition, but you're required to have 30 days of leachate generation to be able to get stored on site. We obviously have a pretty good relationship with Loudon Utilities to be able to divert leachate to the DOTW directly, but they may at some point have to do maintenance. We get their tap turned off, and next thing you know, we have to be able to store at least 30 days on site. We can also haul in place. And so that leads me to my point. The current tank is going to stay in place where it is now. We'll keep the secondary containment at the base of the hill there. The new tank, which is going to be about 2.5 times its size, is 250,000 gallon. We're going to build a secondary containment up near the maintenance shop, kind of behind it. 2 reasons why we chose that location. If we do have to haul, we can have a turnaround pad or some sort of structure there that allows for convenience of pulling liquids out of the tank to haul them off-site. But also the road that runs down right in front of the maintenance shop to the existing tank, it's about 20% grade. It's not favorable for any traffic. And so one of the things we're gonna do now that we're moving the larger tank up, we can actually extend that road out a little bit further to the southwest, which will help us reduce some of the grading on there. We can actually utilize a perimeter road. The stormwater basin near self-construction, talking about with Hinkle, it was currently being pumped down by the contractor, but like I said earlier, I got a call today that it was completely dewatered. They started excavating the soils in the base, and that kind of sums up my point there. Borrow area, like I said, the PO has been cut to start classification based on those test pit locations I sent you previously. The conceptual borrow plan was provided in 2022, at least that was the date I saw on the figures. I don't know if it was actually seen, reviewed, discussed at that time. But the only real difference that we're doing from that approach, the buffer limits, where the hills and the ponds are located, is that we're not going to incorporate the Purdy Springs property. Or excuse me, I said Purdy Springs, but the Purdy property, the sheriff's department uses it for training and exercises, so we figure we just kind of, readjust our grading plan to kind of stay off that location. Other items, like I said before, Paula Plant is the new TDEC, Division of Solid Waste Management Inspector for Matlock. She has not been to the site in June. I tried to figure out when she would, for July. I have not seen a schedule from her. She is a regulator at my other site in East Knoxville, over off Old Rutledge Pike. That was in June. We had talked about Matlock. She did not tell me at that time she was gonna be the inspector, but coincidentally, she's well briefed on everything that's going on at Matlock that we're dealing with. And then the Purdy Springs, I know we talked about the last meeting, that was sampled in the last week of June.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have one question.
I'm not asking you, unfortunately. Sorry.
But I do have a question.
Okay, hold on. Are there any questions from the engineer report, the airspace utilization report, TDEC inspections report from June, the letters, or the financials?
Can I ask a quick question about, the other counties that bring waste to our landfill? Why do they do that? Most of them have their own landfill. Why do they bring, when they've got their own landfill, why are they using ours?
Referencing as much.
There was Blount County brought some, Knox County brought some. Bradley County brought some waste. And I just was curious why and I looked it up, and they each have their own landfills. So,
So like, what is the are you talking about waste management of Knoxville? Or are you talking about Knox County's, like, the county itself?
the county itself, and there's a page in here that talks about I don't remember where it is, I didn't flag it. But
I'm looking at the customer activity report with you.
It's on down, cause this is this page.
Like, here's a Marble City Waste of Knox. There's the Waste Management of Knoxville.
Shoot, I can't.
No, it'd be on the origin report she's looking at.
Yeah, that's what it is, thank you. That's it, and I'm just curious why they do that. You know, why do they bring it to ours when they've got their own? Yeah, that's it.
And maybe who's hauling it, I don't know.
That doesn't mean it's the county government, that means it's a waste provider, like
That's where it's
waste management
originated
or,
Oh, okay, all right, so, okay, because I'm going, can't they take it to their own?
but if it's waste management of Knoxville, picking up trash in Loudon County, that may show up as Knox County potentially.
No, when it comes across the scales, we're asking that driver,
Okay,
where did you pick it up from?
Oh,
is this pretty, I mean, we're at 82% of our trash, 83% for the year to date. Is that pretty good? I mean, our job is to provide landfill space for our citizens. Is that higher than normal in the industry, or like, what does that 83% look like compared to other landfills that y'all manage? Do they see more out of county trash than?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're doing a good job at keeping our trash local?
Yes.
Good question, Mr. Ross, thank you. Mr. Byers?
My question is back, and this is probably for this guy here, the engineer, back when we was having all that rain, and I had sent an email to you and I copied a bunch of other people, and I never did, even Elizabeth Murphy, but I never did get an answer back about it. But down between the guardrail and the Matlock Bend sign,
Oh,
and
yes.
we're having that pretty good, it's raining every 2 or 3 days, sometimes it rained every day. But it was bubbling black water out of the ground.
When you pull in, it's immediately on the right. It's been tested.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's black all the way down. I've got a video I'd like for you to see if you haven't saw it.
oh, I'm sure he
And
has.
it's black, and it's got the water stained, and it's going right into the stream. And it's black, and it's coming out of the ground black. 'cause
Is
I got
it
a
mineral
video of it.
stains? I mean,
And it just runs down.
No, hold on, we're not doing that right now. We're about to adjourn. We can look at that video when we're done.
Right.
That has been looked at by TDEC and tested by TDEC as well. So TDEC's aware of it and not concerned with it. Y'all can discuss it when we adjourn. So,
Okay.
is there anything else that would please this commission? Is there a motion to adjourn?
someone,
Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye? Aye. Thank you all.
So I know there's some constraints.
that's very good.
So this is,
His stories were great.
needs to
Uh,